In the year 1066, the fate of England was about to be rewritten by a man from across the sea. William, Duke of Normandy, a land just a short distance from England's shores, had his eyes set on the English throne. Born a bastard and raised in a world of brutal politics and warfare, William had risen to power through sheer force of will. Now, he was prepared to risk everything to claim what he believed was rightfully his. This is the story of William the Conqueror, the man who forever changed the course of English history. William was born around 1028, the illegitimate son of Robert, Duke of Normandy, and a tanner's daughter. Despite his illegitimacy, William was recognized as his father's heir. But when Robert died unexpectedly, the young William was thrust into a dangerous world, where his claim to the duchy was challenged by rivals eager to seize power. Yet, despite the odds, William survived. He crushed his rivals, consolidated his power, and earned the loyalty of his vassals through a combination of fear and respect. By the time he reached adulthood, William had become one of the most powerful rulers in Northern Europe. But his ambitions did not end in Normandy. Across the Channel, in England, a throne awaited, a throne he believed was his by right. The opportunity came in 1066, when King Edward the Confessor of England died without a clear heir. Edward, who had spent much of his youth in Normandy, was said to have promised the English crown to William. But when Harold Godwinson, a powerful English noble, claimed the throne for himself, William was outraged. Determined to enforce his claim, William began preparations for one of the most ambitious military campaigns of the medieval world. William secured the support of the Pope, who blessed his invasion as a holy mission and rallied his Norman barons to his cause. By September 1066, William had assembled a formidable army and fleet, ready to cross the English Channel. The stage was set for a battle that would determine the future of England. On the 14th of October, 1066, William's forces met Harold's army at Hastings. The battle that ensued would be one of the most famous in English history. For hours, the two sides clashed in a brutal struggle. Harold's forces, fighting on familiar ground, held their positions on a ridge, using their shields to repel the Norman assaults. But William, ever the strategist, had a plan. At a critical moment, William ordered his troops to feign a retreat. The English, thinking the Normans were fleeing, broke ranks to pursue them. This was the moment William had been waiting for. He turned his forces around and launched a devastating counterattack, breaking the English lines. In the melee, Harold was struck down and his army crumbled. By the end of the day, William stood victorious on the battlefield. William's victory at Hastings was only the beginning. Over the next few years, he faced numerous rebellions and uprisings as the English resisted Norman rule. But William was relentless. He crushed each rebellion with ruthless efficiency, building castles across England to enforce his control. One by one, the English nobility was replaced with Norman lords loyal to William, and the fabric of English society was forever altered. Under William's rule, England saw the introduction of Norman laws, language, and customs. The land was surveyed and catalogued in the Domesday Book, a monumental effort to assess and control William's new kingdom. The Norman conquest also began the blending of Anglo-Saxon and Norman cultures, a fusion that would shape the development of England for centuries to come. William the Conqueror's impact on England was profound and enduring. His victory at Hastings and subsequent rule established the foundations of modern England. The Norman influence permeated every aspect of society, from the legal system to the architecture, and the legacy of his reign can still be seen in England today. But perhaps the most surprising fact about William's legacy is the sheer scale of his ambition. William, the bastard son of a duke, not only conquered England, but also managed to retain control of Normandy, maintaining his rule over both regions until his death in 1087. This dual rule set the stage for centuries of conflict between England and France, with William's descendants fighting to maintain the lands he had secured. William the Conqueror, the bastard who became a duke, the duke who became a king, and the king who reshaped a nation. His conquest of England was not just a military triumph, but a transformation that laid the groundwork for the rise of one of the most powerful nations in history. The echoes of his deeds resonate through the ages, reminding us that even the most unlikely of men can change the world forever. Thank you for watching. Until we may meet again.